What's going on, everyone? So we got a new location that has been revealed for the upcoming Scream 7 and a few little details on a potential Gale Weathers attack. So, Scream 7 will have a newscast as its setting, and rumors suggest that Gale Weathers will be attacked live by Ghostface. This is actually something that was talked about in Scream 5 of them potentially doing it. She was going to have her morning show. We even talked about the potential of that and how cool that could potentially be. So look forward to that. A lot of talks about Gale Weathers being involved back into the news, that her morning show was canceled, and then she's going to get back into field reporting. This is a look of the set. This is a look of the images that got released. Again, I'm all for Gale kind of getting back into business. Obviously, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. Photos can be doctored. News can be fabricated, right? You're going off of the telephone game in a lot of ways, but this does make a lot of sense. And, I always look for, what are the consensuses, right? What are multiple people saying, multiple of these insiders, what are they saying in regards to this film? And you've seen multiple kind of share this sentiment of hey, Gale's going to get back to being in the field. We got the casting calls that were released for a reporter, a new reporter that's supposed to be Robbie, that is going to kind of challenge Gale and, be that try and up and comer, as well as a cameraman that was hired supposedly for Gale Weathers. So, we get kind of a new Kenny, a new Joel, as well as a Robbie type character that's going to be the Debbie Salt. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be Ghostface. That would be disappointing if they kind of do a Scream 2 2.0 all over again. But I do think that kind of cool, right? You're getting these various sets, and this is something that I've talked about, right? Can we not be so in a box, right? Can we, I like how, especially Scream 6, how they really utilize sets, right? You had the shrine room, the subway, you have the bodega, right? You had, these parties and apartments and all these things, right? It felt like they were in New York, right? I even talked about Scream 2. And look, I love the classic Scream movies, but Scream 2, they were basically boxed in the whole time. It's nobody ever leaves campus, right? No one ever goes anywhere. If you've ever been to college, especially a university, you're almost never on campus. Unless you're in class or you have to study or cram for something. And even then you're trying to find excuses or whatever to not have to be on campus. You're usually going to a local hangout spot or a local bar, or you're going to a party, or, you're hanging out with, a local baddie, whatever, right? You're living your best life in college. So it was just man, they're just such in a box, right? And I like these different sets. And I like the idea of having a, kind of a Ghostface attack live on television. I would also love, because you got to think people would probably think it's a stunt, especially for Gale Weathers, right? So no one's going to really think that oh, it's actually Ghostface, right? And then that, even from an audience standpoint, you could kind of have this is it Ghostface? Is it not Ghostface? Is this something that somebody just messing with Gale? And Gale could even kind of be oh, haha, very funny guys, right? You guys are funny, and and then maybe Gale gets cut or something, and it's oh no, this is real. And then she takes off and it's live on air, and you have a really cool chase scene or something like that. I think that'd be cool. And just have again, these multiple sets, have these multiple areas and multiple locations that you're filming in. So it's not so tight, right? It's more, it feels refreshing when you're, we're over here, now we're over here, now we're over here, right? How most people are in life, right? You usually, you go to the store and then you're over here, and then you're not just in your house all day, every day doing nothing, right? Unless you work from home or whatever. Me, I'm usually in my house all day, every day, but it's because I work from home, right? I'm a YouTuber. So, I'm just home all day editing and making videos and stuff like that. But, even then, I still go places, I still do things, right? I still go to the store, get out, and especially working from home, you want to get out, right? So, to have these different sets and these different locations, I do think could really kind of add to this film. But sticking with kind of Gale Weathers and her potentially being attacked, this kind of makes me go, hang on, are we going to get a Scream 2 style chasing? Scream 2's chasing was arguably one of the best in the Scream franchise, let alone in like slasher history, right? Like, I mean, there've been some like great ones. Like Tara Reid's character in Urban Legends is one that comes to mind. Obviously like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Right? You've had a couple like great, iconic, memorable chase scenes, but Gale Weathers, man, especially Scream 2 with like the panels and just building that tension, building that kind of anxiety of like, oh man, like Ghostface, is right there, and like literally just seconds away. Is she gonna get stabbed through the thing, right? Like the little panels, or is she gonna escape? What's gonna happen? Then she locks herself in the closet, and then obviously you get like the Dewey moment where Dewey gets stabbed and stuff. But which I always think is funny, right? Like he knows, like, and like also that scene, to kind of get off track here for a second, like, that scene is a great example of like Dewey Riley, like, because people, especially after Scream 5, when people are like, oh, Dewey wouldn't have gotten, like, yeah, Dewey's always getting distracted, especially when Ghostface is around, right? Like, and Scream 2 was a great example of that, because a lot of people were upset, how, his phone rings and he looks down at his phone and then gets stabbed, right? It's like, well, that's Dewey, right? That's what Dewey's always done. Look at, like I said, Scream 2, where he knows Ghostface is after him and Gale. He's very, very aware. And he's just like nonchalantly just like walking through all these things. He sees Gale. He's like, hey, Gale, like, just like not even like paying attention to his surroundings, nothing, right? Not even worried that Ghostface could sneak up behind him and take him out. Nothing. He's just like completely oblivious, has no concern in the world, steps on some pizza, looking down, trying to get it off of his foot. And then, boom, Ghostface comes and takes him out, right? Or, we thought took him out at that time. And it's just like, that's Dewey. That's who Dewey is, right? He's very, he's silly, right? That's why, like, Doofy in Scary Movie was, like, so accurate. But nonetheless, right? I would love to, one, to get back on track here to this video, but two, Gale Weathers having a great chase scene. Courtney Cox so good in these, like, chase scenes and these moments. I think this is something that could be really cool. This is something that could be very memorable. We've talked about, right, Scream 6 I thought was fun. Where, she basically was Star 89, the guy, the Ghostface back. But it would be nice to kind of just get back to that, like, that Ghostface, attack, right? Where Ghostface is hunting her, tracking her down, trying to get after her. I really want to see that. I really want to get back to that, and kind of have a memorable scene once again of Gale versus Ghostface. Think that could be a lot of fun. But nonetheless, right, Gale Weathers being in this movie, I'm all for it. She's the only character that has continuously been in this movie, right? So that's great to see. I just hope that they do right by her in this film, right? Like, seriously, one of the things that I felt Scream 6 really did was drop the ball with Gale. It was really disappointing in my opinion. Like, she served no purpose in that movie. Like, you did not need to have her in that movie at all, whatsoever. Right? Like, the only thing she did in that film was discover the shrine room. But even that, like, it didn't spoil Ghostface's plan. It didn't, like, Ghostface wasn't there and, like, they had to, like, try to take them out or run away from Ghostface. Like, literally, it did nothing. And Detective Bailey even says, like, that, oh, I was going to reveal it, but Gale beat me to it. Right? It's just like, come on, man. Things like that really are frustrating. But hopefully they do right by her, because she's an iconic character and she deserves it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like this idea? Do you hate this idea? Excited? Do you think, like, yeah, we're going to get like a Scream 2 Gale Ghostface chase scene? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.